All right, you want to talk about a speaker? Cerwin Vega, 2,000 watt max, 1,000 watt RMS, VMAXX 12, dual voice coil, 2 ohm sub. This thing is absolutely phenomenal. Also, to power that is going to be the CUP series. This is the Pro 3K, 3,000 watt, full range. Just absolutely phenomenal. All right, so for today, we're going to put this VMAXX Cerwin Vega inside this Memphis Audio ported box. The box is super awesome, embroidered, very well put together. I'm going to use Memphis Audio 14 gauge wire to run the speakers in parallel so that I can get it down to 1 ohm, so it'll hook up with the amp. And then obviously using Memphis Audio RCA jacks to hook it all up to the amp. I'll get this squared away, wired in parallel, get it installed in the box, and then we'll go from there. So with this being a dual voice coil, in order to get down to 1 ohm, what I'm basically going to do is run it in parallel. So I'm going to run power or positive over to positive, and then we'll hook positively to this to the box, and then negative to negative, and then negative to the box. That'll take the ohms resistance from 2 ohms, which is 2 ohms, down to 1, because the amp is a 1 ohm stable. So I'm going to put that together right now. All right, so when I mean run it in parallel, so obviously we're using orange is red or power, positive, black is negative. Black goes around to the other black, orange, well, red goes to the other red, and then we're going to hook the negative up here, positive up here, to the positive and negative of that. Then the speaker is done. We set it in the box. We bolt it down.
If I ain't got no section, I ain't coming in. Bottles after bottles till I'm spinning dead. I got hitters on call, yeah, I go hard. A whole lot of rowdies, YSLG. If I let you hit it, better hit it from the back. Wanna take me out, nigga, take me to the back. Believe on my feet. This. All the pretty close walk like this.
So to finish this up, it sounds absolutely great. I can get a lot more bass out of it than what the wife actually wants me to use, because this is in her ride. But I ran, I got 2 amps. Kicker amp is just running the, highs and mids. So the Cerwin Vega CVPro 3K is just running the VMAXX 12 2 ohm. Again, ran it down to 1 ohm, which the amp is 1 ohm stable. I've still got the remote that I can put in for the game. I may do that, may not do that. The wife's probably not going to fool with it. So I've got it preset. She's just going to use her volume control for simplicity, whatever. Makes a big difference. I got Memphis wire, Memphis RCA jacks. Great setup. Love the Memphis box. Turned it around backwards. It is a ported box. I could get a little bit more sound out of it by turning it a little bit. Not much, but knowing how stuff just gets thrown in here, I'd rather hit the back of the box as opposed to the speaker. Then I will go through and actually anchor down the amp. Just haven't done that as of yet, but super impressed with it. Easy setup. Of course, I had everything ran already, so it wasn't a complete install. It was basically took another sub out that was in here and another amp and replaced the 2. But so far, I mean, loving it. I'll put a link or a picture of what the amp, what the box, and what the sub is at the end of this video, so that you can look at it. As far as gains on it, several different things you can do to adjust that. Usually I just do it by ear. Look at your fault on your amp. Make sure you don't run too much on your amp. You can run voltmeter. There's so many different things to do, which I do that if I have an issue, but been doing it long enough to where just basically do it by ear. On this one, I don't even have the bass boost on at all. It's on 0, just so she can control it from her front radio. I've got it preset up there for her. I did set the gain, and then on the high pass crossover, I left it off, and then I only adjusted the low because that's all that's going for the sub. So I'm not fooling with the highs just because I don't really need it. That's what she's got the mids and highs speakers for on a separate amp. So not even really utilizing this function. But runs great so far. No complaints, no issues.